In the first half, Dawkins' teammates shot a grand total of 7 for 21 from the field. But early in the second half, the other Blue Devils start to contribute. Duke's lead is up to 5, following this gorgeous baseline move by Henderson. Senior Billy Thompson can't find the range, but Louisville's super freshman Purvis Ellison rallies his team again. Ellison then decides to show he can do more than just score. This soft touch pass leads to a Herbert Crook basket, giving the Cardinals their first lead since the game's opening minutes. Denny Crum believed those opening moments of the second half were crucial.
We try to strive very hard to concentrate really hard on the first 5 minutes of the second half for two reasons. One, I think that's always a crucial part in a game in relation to setting the tempo like you want it. But even more than that, they're coming out of a locker room with fresh in their minds the things that you've just talked about that you have to be able to do in the second half.
Dawkins knows what he has to do. He shows his velvet touch for 7 quick points in the next minute and a half. With his Blue Devils back in the driver's seat, point guard Tommy Amaker looks to set it up inside. With everyone covered, he lets go a rainbow, and the Blue Devils take a 6-point lead with less than 12 minutes to go. As if that weren't enough bad news for Louisville, seniors Billy Thompson and Milt Wagner were on the bench with 4 fouls each. The Cardinals struggled to stay close. Tony Kimbrough misses, but McSwain grabs a key rebound. He spots senior guard Jeff Hall, who hits a key basket from the circle to narrow the gap. As Louisville starts its comeback, Denny Crum knows he can rely on more than just his seniors.
Well, with Thompson and Wagner both having 4 fouls, that was certainly an area of concern that I was hoping I didn't have to deal with. But one of the things about this team was that we had good depth, and that we, throughout the course of the season, for different reasons and a lot of times on purpose, played guys in crucial situations that maybe weren't starters. And I think that really helped us coming down the stretch.
One of those non-starters, Mark McSwain, gets the ball down low. He brings the Cardinals to within 1. Moments later, Duke gets a break. Amaker's pass is deflected, but it rolls right into the hands of Henderson. And Duke leads 61-55 with just over 7 minutes to play. But the Cardinals come right back. McSwain finds Ellison inside. Duke's lead again is cut to 4. On the other end, Jeff Hall and his Louisville teammates continue to harass Dawkins, who hasn't scored a field goal in 10 full minutes. Senior Milt Wagner decides to take matters into his own hands. The result is a 3-point play that pulls the Cardinals to within 1 with 5.5 minutes to play. With Hall covering Dawkins like a blanket, Duke looks elsewhere for scoring. But the Blue Devils miss their 4th consecutive shot. Louisville decides to talk it over. With Dawkins shut out from the field in the last 11 minutes, Mike Krzyzewski needs scoring from his other veterans, while Denny Crum tries to sustain the defensive intensity that has brought his team to the brink of the lead. Aware that Allery and Billis are playing with 4 fouls, Crook finds Milt Wagner inside. Louisville leads by 1 with less than 2 minutes left. The Blue Devils just can't buy a basket. Dawkins gets off only his 2nd shot in the last 15 minutes. But Crook steals the rebound, and the Cardinals want to talk it over again. With play back in, Hall looks for a shot. As the shot clock runs down, he puts up a prayer. And the prayer is answered by none other than freshman Purvis Ellison. Purvis, never nervous, is psyched. Ellison has his team up by 3. Duke's dry spell from the floor reaches nearly 7 minutes. When Allery fouls out on this key rebound, Ellison has a chance to put the game on ice. If Purvis is nervous, he certainly doesn't show it. 2 free throws under enormous pressure give Louisville a 5-point lead with 27 seconds remaining. Amaker misses from long range. But Billis gives Duke its first basket since the 7:19 mark. The Blue Devils are within 3. The Cardinals work the ball inbounds. And Duke is forced to send Louisville senior Billy Thompson to the foul line. Everyone in Reunion Arena can feel the tension. "15 seconds to go. Duke can cut it to 1. Duke finally finds the handle, and Curry makes it close with 3 seconds on the clock. Duke's only chance is to foul. Louisville gets it into the hands of senior Milt Wagner, and Duke must pray that Wagner misses from the line. Wagner doesn't miss. Denny Crum wins his second NCAA championship in 6 years, and Louisville becomes only the 9th school in NCAA history to win 2 basketball championships. Ellison is the first freshman in 42 years to be voted MVP of the Final Four.
The Cardinals had won in Indianapolis back in 1980 and again in 1986 in Dallas. They had plenty of other Final Four appearances to show for this decade of the 80s. Now, Denny Crum will not use the word dynasty in connection with his program, but this is a coach who has learned from John Wood and spent a number of years as an assistant at UCLA. And right now, what Louisville has going for it on the court is the closest thing to a dynasty you're likely to see these days in college basketball. Year in and year out, come tournament time, Louisville is a factor, and quite so very often right there in the Final Four. We hope you've enjoyed our look back at Destination Dallas, the 1986 Final Four. I'm Bob Lee.